Mesa Verde. Maybe between 100 and 150 people lived here in the 13th century. They're going to start building Cliff Palace around the year 1200, and they'll have left here by the year 1300. Now, there's a couple questions that we have right off the bat. This looks like a lot of work to live here for 100 years. Actually, 100 years for the 13th century is a much longer time than it is for us. The generations in the 13th century are not going to be expecting to live into their 70s and 80s or even into even over 100 years. The people in the 13th century are going to be living into their 30s. So 100 years for them is many more generations than it is for us today. Also, keep in mind that the people living here have lived here for centuries and centuries and centuries as farmers living in villages on tops of the mesas. They're going to be farming using agricultural materials that over many, many centuries, over many thousands of years, have worked their way up from Mexico. And Mexico is sort of like the Mesopotamia of the Americas. This is where corn comes from. This is where cotton is coming from. And those materials are working their way up into the American Southwest, and they're going to dramatically change the way everybody is living. And the people here are going to change their lives from being local hunters and gatherers who are following the blooming trees, the flowering plants, the animals that they're hunting, and they're going to become farmers. They're going to be growing corn here, and after they've been growing corn here very successly, corn agriculture is going to lead to this architecture that you see. Now as the sun comes out, we'll move everybody down closer to the village and utilize this alcove. So you can follow me.